Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about a service that's all about taking the pain out of hosting web apps. The goal? To let you focus on what you actually love doing, building amazing things. We're talking, of course, about Azure App Service. So let's start with a headache pretty much every developer has felt. You've got a fantastic idea, your code is looking great, but then reality hits. You have to start worrying about servers, operating systems, security patches, and how to handle traffic. And look, this isn't just some small technical hurdle. It's a massive drain on your time, your money, and most importantly, your focus. Every single hour you spend wrestling with infrastructure is an hour you're not spending creating cool new features for your users. Okay, so what's the fix? Well, this is where Azure App Service comes in. The easiest way to think about it is as a super powerful, fully managed platform for your apps. Its whole reason for being is to do all of that heavy lifting for you. And this thing is incredibly flexible. It doesn't care what you code in. Whether your team is all about .NET, Java, Python, or anything else, App Service has you covered. But you know it's a real game changer? The support for custom containers. That means you can package up your entire app with all its specific little dependencies into one neat little box that runs the same way everywhere. Talk about freedom. So a great question to ask is, who is this really for? Because it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. The truth is, App Service is cleverly designed with different features for very different people, from students just starting out to fast-moving startups and all the way up to massive enterprises. Let's break that down. First up, let's talk about students. If you're just getting started on your coding journey, this platform is basically built to tear down the two biggest walls you face, cost and complexity. For students, this just makes life so much easier. You get free access, so you don't have to worry about a credit card. You absolutely don't need to be an IT genius to get your first app online. And the best part? It hooks right into the tools you're already using for school, like VS Code or IntelliJ. You can literally go from writing code to having a live website in just a few minutes. Okay, now let's switch gears and look at small businesses and startups. For them, the name of the game is speed, growth, and looking professional, all without an enterprise-sized budget. The key takeaway here is that startups get these big league features on a small league budget. You can slap your own custom domain on your site and get a free SSL certificate, which is absolutely vital for building trust. The pay-as-you-go model means you're not burning cash on servers you're not using. And when your app suddenly takes off, the platform can automatically scale up to handle a massive traffic spike, and then scale right back down when things quiet down, saving you money. You can even deploy your app in data centers all over the world with just a couple of clicks to get closer to your customers. All right, and for the big players, the enterprises, the priorities are totally different. Now we're talking about ironclad security, seamless integration into their complex systems, and rock-solid reliability. And App Service really delivers here. You get full CI/CD integration, that's continuous integration and continuous deployment, which basically means your code can get tested and rolled out automatically, which is huge for moving fast. You can also completely lock down your apps in a virtual network, hiding them from the public internet. And for companies and industries with super strict rules, knowing that App Service meets compliance standards like ISO, SOC, and PCI is just peace of mind. But let's be realistic. Not every application is brand new. What do you do if you've got an older app? One with some quirks. Maybe it has some very specific dependencies on the Windows operating system itself. For these really unique situations, there's a special option in Preview called Managed Instance. It's specifically made for those older Windows apps that were built to talk directly to the OS. Maybe it needs to poke around in the Windows registry, or run an old-school MSI installer, or connect to a shared network drive. Managed Instance basically gives you a controlled environment that mimics that old setup, so you can bring those apps to the cloud without a complete rewrite. So how in the world do you choose the right one? Well, this table makes it pretty simple. For the vast majority of modern web apps, whether they're on Windows or Linux, the standard plan is your go-to. It's the perfect starting point. If you're dealing with one of those tricky legacy Windows apps we just talked about, Managed Instance is your hero. And for those massive mission-critical apps that need the highest level of security and total network isolation, you've got the App Service Environment, or ASE. When you boil it all down, the entire philosophy driving Azure App Service can be summed up with this one simple idea. The goal is to get you out of the server management business, period. By hiding away all that underlying complexity, the patching, the scaling, the networking headaches, it frees you and your team up to pour all your energy into what actually creates value, your code, and what it does for your users. And that's our look at Azure App Service. It's all about clearing the runway so that you can innovate faster. Which really just leaves one final question. With all that heavy lifting taken care of for you, what will you build next?